What's up guys, Adrian Amaral with 911 Gadgets. This video is to show you guys a little bit or a lot of it on how to unlock phones, what the process is, and just a little bit more information on how to do it. Alright guys, but before we get started, I want to say that this video is sponsored by salstore.co. It's a POS software that's online based. It's for all the cell phone repair shops. Let me show you a little bit about it. You can sign up and get a free trial, but if you download my curriculum, you will get an extended free trial, so go ahead and take advantage of that now. It is an awesome layout. You know, you got a Swift dashboard. This is where you can make all your tickets, get a customer base, get all your inventory set out. Go and take advantage of this now. I'll leave the link in the description. Go check it out today, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start off by talking about unlocks. So you have, people are always like, do you unlock phones? Unlocking is very broad. So you have carrier unlocks, which means if I have a T-Mobile phone, right? This is from T-Mobile, and I want to put an AT&T SIM card in there, it's not gonna let me, whether it's an Android or whether it's an iPhone. It won't let me. It only work with T-Mobile SIM cards. So if you want to carrier unlock it, or it's also called factory unlock, you either have to call T-Mobile and tell them, hey, you know, I want to unlock my phone so I can use it with other carriers, or I want to go out of the country and put a different SIM card from over there, please unlock it. But they have rules. They don't just let you unlock it for free. Some of the rules are, you have to have the phone active with their service for 6 months. Your phone needs to be paid off. You know, different carriers have different rules. Metro PCS, same thing. You know, for iPhones it's a little bit harder to unlock because there's actually no way to kind of crack the software to unlock it, except if you use this little tiny thing called an RSIM, which are very, very unreliable. So I don't recommend those. I don't even use those. You could get them for like $4 to $6, but then you charge your customer 60 to 80 bucks to use that little SIM thing. But sometimes even after a day, it just locks back up, you know, and you have to keep changing some settings on it. It's just a headache. I do not recommend them at all. But if you want to go that route, go ahead. So that's carrier unlocking, okay? As I was saying, the iPhones are harder, so if it's not paid off, then you would have to use one of our services, which I'm going to show you guys real quick. So for example, we have this one here. This is one of many websites that I use. And this is how most or all of the unlocking sites work, okay? Some of them will be a little bit different and they're gonna be a little confusing, guys, okay? So you go to see these, you have all these things. Your client area kind of shows you a bunch of stuff about you, this and that. So these are all the ones that I've done. So if we want to unlock a T-Mobile phone, right? You would go to place order, IMEI service, T-Mobile, see if there's anything. Sometimes there's nothing for that. T-Mobile. So we have these websites, these sources that I use, that all my students use. You can process unlocks through the websites for a fee. Most of the time, if the phone is blacklisted or there's a balance due on it, you would probably have to go through these websites. Now, if you have a phone that's paid off, you know, like sometimes these Androids, they have an app. They have an app on here that's a remote unlock. If it's paid off, you can unlock it for free, okay? So So the same with iPhones. They don't have that remote unlock app, but with AT&T, you can go and get the unlock for free if it's paid off, you know. So we'll get into that once we're done talking about the different types of unlocks, okay? I'll show you guys the software, the websites, stuff like that. So then that is carrier unlocks, okay, or also known as factory unlocks, where you can put this is a T-Mobile phone and you can put a T-Mobile SIM card in there or a Metro PC. Actually, that's tricky too, things always change, but right now T-Mobile phones, you can put a Metro PCS card in there already. So a T-Mobile phone will work with Metro PCS automatically without having to unlock, and a lot of people don't know that. So the same with AT&T, you can use a Cricket SIM card with an AT&T phone, and that's because they use the networks. Cricket uses AT&T networks, and Metro PCS uses T-Mobile networks. So that is carrier unlocks, okay, where you could put a SIM card of another carrier into a T-Mobile phone, or let's say this was AT&T. You unlock it, you can put a T-Mobile SIM card in there, and then you can use it. So a lot of people want to use that. All right, then we have Blacklist. Okay, so customers call, hey, can you unlock my phone? You know, what kind of lock is it? What are you talking about? Are you talking carrier unlock, or is it blacklisted, or is there a password on there? So we're going to talk about all those. So the second one here is blacklisted phones. A blacklisted phone is also known as barred, because when you unblacklist it, it's also known as unbarring. Okay, so you'll see a lot of these terms when we get into the website. So a blacklisted phone is a phone that is blocked by the carrier. T-Mobile. I'm using it with T-Mobile, and then I just decide I don't want to pay my bill anymore, and I owe money on this phone. Okay, so I just tell T-Mobile, I don't tell them anything. I just stop paying it. I owe $300 on it. Well, shortly after T-Mobile notices that I'm not paying my bill anymore, they're gonna blacklist it, which means the IMEI number is going to be flagged, so it won't work. So even if I get another T-Mobile SIM card, a different account, and I pop it in this T-Mobile phone, it's not gonna work. Okay, it's gonna say no service because T-Mobile has now blacklisted the phone. So we have these services that we use where we type in the IMEI number and we pay a fee. It's cheaper fee than what we are going to charge our customers to do this. It's just a service that we buy to get this thing cleaned. So it's also called cleaned, okay? Unbarring, unblacklisting, or cleaning the IMEI. It's the same thing. It all comes down to the IMEI. The IMEI is now blocked because I didn't pay it. So we want to clean it, right? We want to clean it, making it unblocked, okay? Or we want to unbar it, or we want to unblacklist it. These are all terms. That's what I'm saying. Unlocking is very, very broad, and you got to learn these terms. But it's not hard once you get the hang of it, okay? It's kind of like learning a new language, but a language that only has maybe like 15 words, 15 to 20 words, okay? I want to learn Chinese. I want to learn all these other languages, but there's hundreds and thousands of words, right? This is only about 20 words, so it's like learning a language, but only 20 words. So don't get scared, okay? A phone can also be blacklisted by, let's say I buy insurance for my phone, and I call T-Mobile, and I use T-Mobile, that's why I'm using them, but this applies to every carrier. I call T-Mobile and I tell them, hey, I lost my phone. Can you please replace it? I'll pay $100 deductible, or whatever the deductible is, right? I'll pay the deductible, thank you. And then they'll process it, they'll ask you these questions. They will report yours as lost or stolen. They'll send you a new phone. So now you get a new phone, right? And this one, it's no longer usable because it's the IMEI, which is the serial number of your phones, right? The IMEI is now blacklisted. So I got my new phone, I put my SIM card, and this phone works. If I take this SIM card or a different account SIM card from T-Mobile, right? Because it's probably not unlocked, okay? So see, that's where it gets tricky. It's not unlocked, so you can't put an AT&T SIM card. So let's say I get another account SIM card from T-Mobile. You put it in here, it's not gonna work. It's gonna say no service because it got blacklisted due to being reported lost or stolen to the insurance, okay? So another way that it could get blacklisted would be, so we talked about payments, right? If you stop paying it, reported lost or stolen, and insurance claim, yeah, the same thing. So, and there's different tools to check. In these websites, you go and you check the IMEI and it'll tell you why is it blacklisted. Android's the same thing, they get blacklisted. However, Androids are easier to work on because you can actually crack the software. So we have these contacts, the websites and personal contacts that we can text. Hey man, I got a Galaxy Note 8, it's blacklisted, how much to clean it, you know? So they'll send you, they'll text you back, okay, it's gonna be $80. And what they do is they go on the phone, you plug it into a computer, and they go on the phone and they just do what they got to do. They change the numbers in there or something, whatever. They flash it, they put a different IMEI number, and that's it. But you can't do that with iPhones, okay? Androids are much easier to unlock. And by unlock, we're talking about carrier unlock, blacklist, password, all that stuff, okay? So we've talked about carrier unlocking, right? Which is putting a SIM card from another carrier into a phone. And we talked about blacklisting, okay? When they report it lost or stolen, you can't use it, It won't work anymore because it's reported lost or stolen. IMEI has been flagged, has been barred, has been blacklisted. So carrier unlocks, blacklisting. Then we have password, okay? So if somebody comes up to you or they say, hey man, I lost my passcode, I don't know what it is. Well, both phones you can factory reset them by punching in certain numbers, okay? 911 gadgets. This is who? Yes, what's up, Takashi? Good. Yeah. Okay, so these phones can both be reset by pushing a series of keys in certain orders or stuff like that. So there's different ways of resetting them. However, there's this thing called iCloud and this thing called Google Lock, okay? So yes, you can reset it, but once you reset it, the phone actually detects that these phones were reset without first removing the iCloud or without first logging out of iCloud or logging out of Google, the Gmail accounts, okay? So it's called, that's a different type of lock, right? Which we're gonna talk about right now. But yes, password locks, you can reset them. If it doesn't have a Google lock, for Android, or if it doesn't have an iCloud lock, meaning that the accounts are not logged in anymore, they were removed, or maybe people don't like using the Google Play Store or Gmail or anything. Maybe people don't like using iCloud, but they have a passcode. Yes, you can reset it and you'll be back into your phone with no problem, as long as there was no iCloud account on the iPhones or Google account on the Androids. So yes, you can reset a passcode or a pattern lock or password, whatever. You can reset them, but it all depends if you can use the phone again. It's determined by whether or not there was an account logged in before the reset. Okay, so yes, password unlock. So now we've covered carrier unlocks, putting different SIM cards into a certain carrier phone, right? Blacklist Unlock. When they report them, lost or stolen, they get blacklisted. You can't use them, even if they were previously unlocked, carrier unlocked, but somebody reported them stolen, then it's carrier unlocked, but it's still going to be blacklisted. So okay, we got carrier unlocks, blacklist unlock, and then we have password unlocks. So far we have 3 different types of unlocks. And I'm sorry if this is confusing, but just replay the video. This is a lot of information to try to explain. So we got carrier unlocks, blacklist unlocks, password unlocks, resets. Then we're gonna talk about iCloud, right? We just talked about iCloud and Google Lock regarding the phones if we reset them. Okay. So iCloud lock. Let's start with iCloud. With iCloud lock, many times people sell phones that are iCloud locked already. They bought them on OfferUp, or they bought them somewhere, because even if they're iCloud locked, they'll turn on and it'll start up to the screen, right? And you're thinking you can buy it. You're thinking, okay, this one's dead. Well, anyways, you're thinking you're gonna buy it for real cheap or whatever. You got a good deal, but then it says hello, and you think it's brand new, it's restarted, whatever. So you start from scratch, and then you go through the whole thing. See, like this one right here. You're gonna go through the whole thing. English. You put United States. Set up manually, whatever. I'm already hooked up to Wi-Fi, right? So these phones use the internet to determine whether there was an iCloud account logged in or not. Okay. Let me take a few minutes to activate your phone. So right here it's checking. Does this thing have an iCloud account logged in? If it does, I'm not going to let this person use it. And look, see? This iPhone was lost and erased. Enter the Apple ID and password that were used to set up this iPhone. So, see, that's iCloud lock. You need to have the Apple ID that was used on this iPhone, and you need to have the password. Okay? This is iCloud lock. You can't do anything unless, of course, you have the sources, which we have. and yeah. Now, there's ways to remove this, okay? But first, do you remember when we talked about blacklist status? Well, iCloud has a status also, okay? When somebody reports a phone and they blacklist it, it gets flagged, and when you check the IMEI, it says lost or stolen, right? Well, they can blacklist the phone itself. And if they don't call Apple, or if they don't report it lost or stolen through Apple, because you report it lost or stolen through the carrier, right? But you can also report it lost or stolen through Apple server. So with the IMEI number, remember the IMEI is the serial. That's what you're always going to use to check statuses of stuff. Like I don't even need this phone in my hands to check it. I just need the IMEI number, which, you can find it. There's various ways to find it inside the software, or out here in the back on some phones, or here in the SIM tray inside. Well, if they haven't reported it lost or stolen to Apple, then that iCloud status is clean, which means it's easier and faster to remove the iCloud account using the sources that we have. Now, to check that, you type in the IMEI number in our website that we use, or one of the websites, because we have a few, and it'll tell us iCloud status lost. If it says lost, then we have to try some other way to remove it, okay? But if iCloud status says clean, then we can use the sources that we have right there, the websites, or the faster way of doing it. So iCloud, if a phone has iCloud, you want to check the status of the iCloud. The same way, before you buy a phone, you want to check the status of the IMEI, like through the carrier. If it's reported lost, stolen, blacklisted, right? You also want to check the IMEI. The IMEI will tell you if it has iCloud. You know, you don't have to see the phone yourself. iCloud, you can check it through IMEI. It'll tell you if it's on or off. 911 Gadgets. Yeah, for what carrier? Can you text me the IMEI number so that I can check it real quick and see what kind of block it has? What kind of phone is it? A Google Pixel 4. Yeah, text me the IMEI number and then I'll call you as soon as I get a report back on it, and I'll tell you how much it's gonna cost to. So basically, you want to use it with T-Mobile again? Okay, yeah. Send me the IMEI number. Just text it to me, okay? And I'll call you back. All right, sounds good. All right, thanks. Okay, bye. All right, cool. So this guy called about a Google Pixel 4. He bought it, and it's reported that's blacklisted. I don't know if it's lost or stolen yet. So it's a Google Pixel, so it's Android, right? It's a little bit easier, but although Google Pixels are kind of harder than Samsung. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. All right. So iCloud status, clean or lost or stolen. We want it to be clean because it's easier, faster to remove the iCloud through our services, through our sources that we use. iCloud is also known as FMI, Find My iPhone. When somebody has Find My iPhone on, that means they have iCloud logged into it. So when you check the IMEI for iCloud, you're probably going to search it up under FMI or sometimes under iCloud status, okay? So that's iCloud, and it's very confusing, but that's why you guys get access to the group, so we can always talk about it there. Okay. What else? iCloud, okay. The Samsungs or Androids. The same thing with these, okay? It's like iCloud, right? If it gets reset and there was an iCloud account logged in, it's going to give you kind of the same message. Please type in the email and password that was used, actually the Gmail and password that was used on this phone before it was reset. If you don't have that, then you got to unlock it, right? So now that's called Google Unlock, or also known as FRP, Factory Reset Protection. Because when you reset it, if it has the code like that and you factory reset it, you're factory resetting it through the back end by pushing a couple buttons here and there, right? You can just Google how to factory reset a Note 8 or a Note 9 or a Google Pixel, you know, and it'll tell you push the top button and the volume down button and then this and that, and it'll show you how to reset it without putting the passcode in. However, if it has a Google account in there, you know, you're gonna have to put in the email and the password, which we don't know it, right? So that's when you go to our sources and you search up Google account removal. We do have a direct contact where we can text the guy, hey man, I got a Note 8 with FRP or with Google Lock, right? FRP is Factory Reset Protection. Google Lock is the same thing. Hey, I got a Note 8 FRP, how much? And he'll text you back, oh, it's this much money, or this much, 20 bucks, 15 bucks, 30 bucks, 80 bucks, depending on which model. And he'll tell you if you can do it or not. Most of the time, he can do everything. So then you plug it in, you let him access your computer or the phone through a utility that he uses, and then it's done. He removes it, and you're good to go. You pay him, and that's easy, right? That's really fast. And usually cheaper than removing iCloud. So we talked about iCloud. To check if it has iCloud, you can either reset it yourself and then wait for that message to say insert your email and password, or you can just get the IMEI number and punch it into our website sources that we have and search if it has iCloud or FMI on, right? If it has on, then we want to check the status of it. It's a different search, it's a different source or different service. So if it says Find My iPhone or iCloud on our website search results or on our report results, then we want to check if the iCloud that's on is lost or stolen, or if it's clean. So then we can choose which route we're gonna go to unlock the iCloud. Okay, If it's clean, it's a little bit faster and easier. If it's lost or stolen, then it's a little bit different, you know. So we have the sources to do that too. Okay. All right. And then for this one, we talked about Google Lock, also known as FRP, right? Also, if you reset it. For this one, there's not really a way. I don't think we have a source that tells you if FRP is on, although we might have it. I just never bothered looking for it. Because it's so easy to reset these. You just reset them real quick. And the fact that it's real cheap to remove FRP, it's okay. If somebody's going to sell me a Note 9 that has a passcode on it, I don't care. I'll just buy it. If it's a good deal for cheap, like $200 or $100, I don't care if it has FRP, honestly. Because it's only going to cost me like $15-20 to remove FRP. But iCloud, if somebody's going to sell me a iPhone 8 Plus, and they want $200-300, okay, that sounds like a good deal. But if it has iCloud, you know, it's not going to cost me $15-20 to remove it like this would. It's going to cost over $100, you know, sometimes $200. So you got to check the prices. The prices are constantly changing. So I'm going to think twice before I buy it. I'm going to just send me the IMEI number first, or let me see it. If it has a passcode on there, I got to check it. I got to check the IMEI number. And if it says find my iPhone off, it's a deal, you know. If it has find my iPhone on, which find my iPhone is iCloud, if it says on, then I'm like, okay, maybe we'll have a deal. So I go check if find my iPhone is lost or stolen or clean, right? Then I go check if it's clean. I go check how much it costs through the sources to remove iCloud. If it's $120 and he wants $200 for it, then that's $320. That's cool. But then remember, you also have carrier unlock and blacklist. So this thing might have an iCloud, but it might also be blacklisted. So now you're gonna pay $200 for the phone, $120 to remove the iCloud. That's $320, you know, plus another $40 to $80 to $120 to clean the blacklist status of it. So you see, these unlocks can pile up. Okay, so that's why this is a lot of information, man. So I hope you guys are not so confused right now. You know, I'm trying to explain it as best as I can. A phone can be carrier locked, blacklisted, password, and iCloud locked. Okay, all at the same time. So you want to watch out. You want to check the IMEI. If it's only blacklisted, there's no iCloud and there's no password, none of that stuff, and it's just simply blacklisted, then cool. You got yourself a potential profitable deal, right? If the phone has a password, right, but you check it and it doesn't have iCloud and it's not blacklisted, and to top it off, it's already carrier unlocked, get it. Because it's just a password which you can reset. And it's not going to ask you for the email and password because you already checked that Find My iPhone is off. iCloud is off. Doesn't have iCloud. So yes, buy it. Now, there's phones that maybe it's just iCloud locked. That's all it is. Obviously, it's not blacklisted, you know, but it's already carrier unlocked, which you can check all that stuff out with the IMEI. So if it's just iCloud locked, and they're selling you an iPhone 8 Plus or something for $80, and the iCloud removal is only $120. Not only, that's kind of a lot. So yeah, if the iCloud removal is $120 and you're spending $80 for the actual phone, that's $200 for an 8 Plus. That's pretty good. This is not an 8 Plus, I'm just saying. You're buying it for $200. However, guys, unlocks are always tricky. Okay, buying phones is always tricky. So yeah, you might spend $200, but what if like a week later or 2 weeks later the person blacklisted it? They called and they said, hey, I lost my phone, because they want to get a replacement for just paying the deductible. They lost their phone. Now you bought a phone for $80, paid $120 to remove iCloud, and now you're gonna have to pay extra to clean the blacklist, to remove it from blacklist, right? Unbar it, clean the IMEI, etc. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I hope that's enough information, you know. There's a couple other locks. MDM, it's called Mobile Device Management. That's for iPhones. There's or iPads, anything Apple. For example, school districts, they would install this software through Apple servers to manage their devices, right? If you factory reset it, it's kind of like iCloud. It's gonna say this phone or this iPad has a remote management software installed for the school district of Los Angeles, right? Or for FedEx, or you know what I mean, like a company. That's a remote management software. It's called MDM, Mobile Device Management, right? It's kind of like iCloud. If it has that, you can't use the phone unless FedEx or the school district programs it, you know. They're on their computer, they're gonna say, oh, this phone was, you know, reset, give access, and then boom, you'll get access and you can use it again. But there's ways to remove that, and it's not as expensive as iCloud. And it's faster too, so it's way cheaper. I'm talking about like 1/10 of what you would pay for iCloud removal. So yes, you can remove MDM, Mobile Device Management. Okay, so that's the other unlock that we're talking about. We talked about a whole bunch of iClouds. I mean, even I'm already confused. We talked about a whole bunch of unlocks. Okay, we talked about carrier unlocks, which carrier unlocks is being able to use a T-Mobile phone with another carrier SIM card, right? Or an AT&T phone with another carrier SIM card. We talked about blacklisted unlocks. This guy who just called me, a Google Pixel 4, it's blacklisted. Okay, so I would text my source for Android. I'll text them, hey, how much to remove to clean the IMEI, right? Unless we can do it on our source here, because we can also just pay our sources, you know. But for Android, I like doing it through this guy. It's quicker, sometimes cheaper, because it's Android and he can log into the phone. Blacklisting phones. So carrier unlocks, blacklisting unlocks, password and pattern lock unlocks, right? We can just reset those. But then if we reset it, it might have a Google account or it might have an iCloud account, right? So then we're talking about iCloud and Google accounts. iCloud locks and Google locks. We got carrier unlocks, blacklist unlocks, password locks. We can unlock those. iCloud unlocks, Google unlock, which by the way, the iClouds, see, iCloud is just so broad within itself. If you forgot your iCloud, or if the customer forgot his iCloud information and they have the receipt, they can go to the Apple Store and they'll remove the iCloud lock for free. Okay. Then we talked lastly about MDM, Mobile Device Management, which is like iCloud. So I hope this sums it up for you guys, man. If you guys have any more questions, please go to the Facebook group and post on there and we will definitely answer it for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry if it's a lot of information, and I hope it was kind of clear. I'm going to try to edit this as much as possible. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, or if you want to contact me directly, you know, you can call me 951-399-7911 or email me at contact@911gadgets.com. You can also leave a comment down below. If this helped you, I'm very happy it did. Oh, if you want to get that PDF where it has all the sources and all that, go to 911gadgets.com/cell phone repair training. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.